welcome back. It's Christmas time, and we're all getting ready for the big day, the holidays, and all the fancy stuff that'll go on with Christmas trees, family, and gifts. Tonight I'm just going to take a few moments to talk about G.I. Joe. Some fun facts you may or may not know is that G.I. Joe owes his existence to Barbie, because in 1963, toy creator Stan Weston thought that since Barbie was so popular, he could come up with a similar toy for boys, a line of Barbie-sized dolls with a military theme to be marketed to the boys. He brought that concept to toy manufacturers, which later became Hasbro's, the Hasenfield brothers, and they began with their first 3 prototypes, Rocky the Marine, Skip the Sailor, and Ace the Pilot. Do you have any of those original Joes? If you do, then you've got a collector's item. G.I. was government issue. The name G.I. Joe itself came from the 1945 American war film called The Story of G.I. Joe, starring Ernie Pyle and Robert Mitchum. 4 original G.I. Joe action figures were released in 1964, plus the Black Soldier, who followed in 1965. They tell me that it's kind of hard to get a 1964 Black Soldier. So if you have one, well, you're blessed. The world's first action figure, because we don't call them dolls, we call them action figures. Hasbro coined that word to use in the tool of marketing, because he knew, or he said, that boys would not play with dolls. So he said, but they'll play with action figures. The first G.I. Joe, American movable fighting man, had 21 points of articulation, which is actually patented. And finally, the G.I. Joe scar on his right cheek is the only way that Hasbro could copyright the action figure. You know, a face can't be copyrighted unless you make it something unique, and so they put a scar on his face. And I always tell people, if you don't see a scar, it's not a G.I. Joe. Now, I do know I have found some of the, specific characters like Roosevelt or Patton. They don't have scars, but they're not G.I. Joes. They're character action figures. Every year at Christmas, I like to get out my G.I. Joe, my action figure, who's dressed in his sweater. You know, most people have these Christmas sweaters. I forget where I got mine, but it came with this little scarf. I think it was a bottle warmer or something like that, but it fits real neat on G.I. Joe. And of course, you know, he's got the little Christmas tree and the balls on it, and a little bit of snow around the base. It's a pretty good little sweater, ugly sweater day, or whatever you want to call it. But I like G.I. Joe, and I like to dress my Joes in different themes. You may have seen some of my Joes dressed with pajamas. You may have seen them going to the beach, different things like that. Dressing G.I. Joes to set the mood or put it in a theme is really what it's all about. It's the play factor, the having fun. I always say toys are fun, and they are. I also found today in one of my boxes this sailor. Now he has a pretty fancy, snappy uniform. It's just a Navy sailor uniform, but It has the stripes on it. It has the anchor and the eagle. And I also found the little U.S. Navy bag. I don't know if it came with this figure or not, or maybe I got this from one of the toy collectors at one of the shows. But I really like the United States Navy uniform, and I like this action figure. I also have Annapolis. I have the Navy figure that's coming home for Christmas, where he has the bag of toys for his kids. That's a lot of fun too, to do a setup or a little diorama of Christmas time, where Joe is coming home to his family, his wife and kids. It's always fun to make up a little story. And I know you probably do that too, or maybe you do different stories or different things with your figures. But there's a lot of good creators out there, and I've seen a lot of good creators making stories, making comics. Matt's always making accessories. He'll go into a store and he'll see something and he'll say, oh, that gives me an idea. And then he'll make a accessory, and he'll make a video about that accessory. So there's a lot of good creators that do a lot of interesting things with their Joes. I have one here that's not necessarily special, but oh, let me say this before I go on to that. When I was looking through the Navy stuff, I found the life preserver. Now I've sold a lot of these life preservers to different people along the way. I've sold these, but I don't think I'm going to sell any more, because I found out that they only come with a few sets, and they're kind of hard to find. In fact, I sold the last one to a friend of mine for $10, and it was in much better condition than this one. But I don't think I'm going to sell any more of these life jackets or life preservers, simply because I want to keep one for my Navy guys. And then in the mail this week, it was wrapped up good. Let me just say this to you: when you ship something, please wrap it up good like this. When you ship it, put some bubble wrap around it. Do that. It helps to protect it and take care of it. Now let me see if I can get this out of here. He's got a stand in here. I didn't know I was getting a stand, but hey, that's good. Let's see if I can get the stand off here. Just give me a second here. I don't want to damage the figure taking the stand off. And some of the stands, this is a pretty good stand, but some of the, I dropped it. Some of the stands, when you put them down in there, they clamp real tight, and it's hard to get your figures out of the stand, which means that it's going to stay there and it's going to work real good. I believe this particular figure, when I agreed to purchase it, the reason that I wanted this figure was because he was trying to model this after Hot Lips on MASH. So there she is. I don't know whether she really looks like Hot Lips or not, but that's what he was trying to do. Is she comes with a crutch, got a crutch for the wounded soldier, and then she's also got an IV with saline solution, I guess, in it. And there she is, Hot Lips Houlihan. Can't even say it. I don't know if he made the uniform, or if he bought it or what, but it's pretty well made, and it looks a little bit like what they might have wore in MASH. Not exactly, but a little bit. And then he's got these really interesting shoes, which are kind of like, you know, hospital shoes, I guess, or loafers. I'm not fond of these feet that go in the little balls and everything, but hey, it's what it is. But there she is. See if I can get her the Hot Lips Houlihan from MASH. And then we got Hawkeye. So let's see if we can get old Hawkeye out of here. Looks like this stand got kind of broken in the shipping. No biggie. I mean, you know, we're not gonna get upset over a stand. He's got it wrapped here in the bubble wrap, just like the other one, which is good. I like things wrapped. I like things prepared so that, you know, you're not going to lose it, and it's going to protect the action figure, which is the whole point of a stand, and the whole point of wrapping it up, bubble wrapping it for shipping. You know, a lot of times I've gotten things shipped to me and they were in such bad shape when they got to me that it kind of made me mad, because I figured, okay, you guys cannot, there's no way that you could have made sure that, you know, this thing got to me without being damaged. But hey, again, it is what it is. So let me get this up here so you can see it. It's supposed to be Hawkeye. I'll show you his face in a minute. He's got a mask on. He's also holding some blood to use as transfusion. Got some pretty good boots. He's got this neat little hat that Hawkeye might have wore. All right, let's take it off and see. Do you think he really looks like Hawkeye? I don't know. I guess he favors him. You know, this was a custom that this guy did, so it favors Hawkeye. I don't know if it's exactly like him, but it does favor him. He's got his little day-old beard. Got his nose. Did a pretty good job of trying to copy Hawkeye's face. Well, I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas, and I want to tell you that it's important that we pass on the hobby, that we share the hobby with as many people as we can, because there's a lot of fun in collecting G.I. Joes, but it requires us to all get involved and to all share with one another. Share information, trade. If you see something you like, buy it. And if you have something that you have as extra and you want to pass it on, then sell it. I'm going to put a link up for my Facebook group where you can come and join. You can sell your Joes on my group. I don't have a problem with that. Just be nice, be courteous, and make sure you pack things well, okay? Well, until next time, remember, toys are fun.